Alright, so welcome to a new section. From here, we begin another mysterious and yet exciting and rewarding journey. Welcome to a new world of strumming. That's right. So first and foremost, what is strumming? Strumming at the very basic level is just another technique of playing a guitar or maybe any other musical instrument. So strumming is a movement where a pick or a plectrum, as we call it, or a number of fingers or maybe one finger moves in a sweeping action and brushes over several strings to produce a sound. That's as simple as it sounds. That is strumming. So now there are some protocols and there are some measurements to take care of depending on which handed you are. I'll be showing you in the right hand area. You can apply this to the left hand as well. So for that, let's just zoom in and I'll show you how to exactly do stuff in a very easy to follow method that will actually give good results. So before we zoom in, this is what strumming sounds like. Now let's zoom in. Right, so let's take a look at our right hand and let's see what it does. So I remember when I was getting into strumming and exploring this technique, what I used to do is I kind of did this kind of movement. So it's like, for example, if I mute the strings, I did this kind of a movement where my entire arm to the wrist area was involved. Like if I mute the strings, I did something like... I recognize that no, this is a very inefficient way of moving. So what I instead now do is only move my wrist. So if you can see, right? So it involves a lot of effortless movement which goes on the right hand, right? So what's the first thing you can do? So not only strumming, while exploring any new technique, first recognize that what are you comfortable doing, right? So let's divide the right hand into three parts, and you already know this from our exercises area. The bicep, the arm and the wrist. So it's better not to move from the bicep and the arm area because number one, you'll develop a lot of tension, and strumming is a very big movement which you're doing, right? You're generating huge loads of sounds with huge energetic movements. So already your energy is draining through the movement of these hands. Why waste more? So make sure that whenever you're moving, be alert that, okay, I don't have to use my bicep strength to just fight, with my right hand. So keep reminding this whenever you're practicing. Number two is, if you can, from the very first day, use your wrist for the strumming area. So it will take some practice, but eventually you will just get it, right? Number three would be, we have learned this technique of bridging our hand onto the bridge, right? Keeping it for the rest over here while we are picking and doing exercises like... But while strumming, it's kind of impossible to keep your wrists over here or the palm over here and then just strum. So what you can do now is you can take off your right hand, the palm, this part from the bridge, and then you can strum. And there's no rule like you have to strum over here or maybe in the middle. It just depends on how much your hand reaches, where you're most comfortable strumming, and more importantly, which area where you are strumming sounds good to you. Okay. The fourth insight would be, don't go beyond this circumference of the 6 strings. We did this kind of exercise in the picking area, right? So previously I also said that the more distance you take from picking or like going back and forth to the string, the more time it will take to come up. So particular music doesn't allow us so much time that we can go off and then come back, right? So if you can remain in between the 6 strings, like your distance of your hand or the pick remains between the 6 strings, it's the best option to move like that, right? Next thing would be, use controlled movement, and what I mean by that is you can hurt your fingers. Probably I think you can see right here. This is a cut mark when I was like strumming and my finger just cut off, and it hurts, man, it hurts. So make sure to use controlled movements when you start. Obviously you will not get everything perfect at the day one, so you can take all of these lists and write it down on the paper, and then you can okay, day one, this is done, tick mark. So maybe you can on the first day do a technique or practice a technique like, okay, I'll stay between the circumference of the 6 strings, I'll not go more, I will not travel more distance, like it's not required. This is same as, right? A simple exercise I'm giving you. Put your forefingers slightly on the string so that everything is muted. And practice this. Very simple. All down strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this brings me to the next point, which is there's a difference between and once more. This sounds like an arpeggio. Make sure not to do that. I've seen a lot of students do that's kind of a wrong technique. Like, there's a difference between and, right? So it's just one movement, a bunch of sounds. So that's important. So make sure to get a one stimulating sound, not all of the strings ringing out separately. That will kind of sound like a mixture of an arpeggio mixed with strumming, which is kind of good, but right now we're doing the strumming. So make sure to get this kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're doing this exercise, remember all of the parameters and the tips I've given you. And then as you go by, you can slowly shift from muting the strings when you feel like, okay, I've probably got something. I now can do controlled movements over here. Then you can shift to like simple chords like G. See, it sounds pretty. And make sure not to hit too hard, because already strumming is a very movable technique. Like, this sounds really bad. You can just strum your chords very, very soulfully and gently. See how lively and beautiful it sounds. So these are the small insights and techniques I wanted to give you. Make sure to follow all of these. So let's move on to the next section, and I'll be giving you your first strumming pattern. Let's go. Now, first and foremost, what is a strumming pattern? It's just another technique of playing the guitar in this instance, and strumming has really got a lot of patterns to play. So patterns are basically repeatable progressions of certain movements of our right hand in this case, right? So strumming patterns are very essential. So from this section, the starting till the end, I'll be giving you 10 strumming patterns. That's right, I'll be giving you 10 strumming patterns, 10 equally different strumming patterns. So how will this work? Let's see. So for every section, I'll only select one chord to just demonstrate the strumming pattern, because our entire attention should be on the right hand and not so much on the left hand, right? So for that, I've just chosen to take a single chord so that it just remains as a context and as a reference for the right hand to get out these strumming patterns, and that will help you understand it better. The second thing is I'll play it 3 to 4 times. So how will it go? First, I'll play it with the strings muted so that you get the strumming pattern. Secondly, I'll play it with the chord I'll choose. And lastly, I'll be playing the both. That is, the strumming with the chord and with the muted strings, but with a metronome so that our timing also develops. So I guess without further wasting time, let's get started. And here's your first strumming pattern. Alright, so first strumming pattern looks and sounds something like this. It's really very simple. So it looks and sounds something like this. Exactly, it's very simple. It's all downstrokes. So I'm counting it in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And from the previous section, do remember all of the parameters I've told you to follow. Like for example, not traveling too much, using a certain part and maybe the tip of the pick to just strum and just flow through the strings. And also I've told you that there's a difference between and. So in the technique of strumming, you would like to get this kind of a percussive sound, right? So once again, this strumming pattern is really simple. It's in the count of 4/4 and it goes something like this. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple. Now let's do it with a chord. So here's a very simple chord to demonstrate this strumming pattern. I'll take the G major chord, which is really simple, and I'll play this with the strumming pattern. So let's see. So once more, I'll play this with the chord and then I'll switch into the metronome stuff, right? So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 down. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so with the metronome this time, okay? So firstly, I'll again mute the strings and play it with the metronome so that you just can understand what's going on the right hand area, right? So here we go, on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very well done. So by now you may have understood that yes, each click or each beat gets a strum. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Now let's do it with the chord. On the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, very well done. That's our first strumming pattern. Congratulations. Now from the very basic level, if you just have the control, you'll slowly get the control on the right hand. And that's why to give all of these basic strumming patterns so that your distance between the strings, your picking technique, your right hand movement, all of these get cleaned up over time while practicing. And then comes a time where you can just make up your own strumming patterns by just mixing all of these basic stuff which I'm going to be teaching you, right? So congratulations once more, you just got your first strumming pattern. Have fun practicing it. Make sure to practice it with the metronome, and for this section I've chosen the metronome to 60 BPM, that's 60 beats per minute. So it's up to you which speed you want to go with, but I chose 60 BPM. So please practice, and I'll see you in the next section where I'll be giving you your strumming pattern number 2. Alright, so here is our strumming pattern 2. So as always, let's first hear it with the strings muted, and it looks and sounds something like this. Yes, that's how simple it is. So it's basically amalgamating two of the strokes. So strumming basically has kind of two strokes, the down and the up. So if you can get these two right at certain frequencies and certain volumes and controls, then you've just got all of the strumming patterns. That's how simple strumming is, right? So the previous one, the strumming pattern 1 we did, had down strokes all over, right? So this one is just the opposite of that. It has down, and instead of the next down, we just give an upstroke. So on the realm of upstroke, here's the thing. So a lot of things can happen in the upstroke area. So basically, while an upstroke is happening, you need not upstroke all of the 6 strings and come up. It's not like, no need to travel all that far, right? So what's happening is basically I'm just using maybe the first 3 or the 4 strings while I'm strumming up, right? So basically if you watch my right hand, if I play it slowly, say I'm just using maybe top 4 strings max to max, not other than that, right? I'm not strumming up the whole of the strings, right? It's not necessary. This creates a lot of extra tension and it's not required. So this is our second pattern. It's down, up, again in the count of 4. So once more, let's hear it with the strings muted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so for this one I've chosen a very simple major chord, the C major chord. So let's incorporate this strumming pattern with the chord so that we can get a context or a reference. So here's how it sounds. On the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you just saw that I was just only upstroking the top 4 of the 3 strings, and it also depends on what kind of chord you're holding, which position you are in while strumming, and a lot more factors, but more or less it's kind of the same. So no need to travel all of that distance. You can just upstroke all of the top 4 or 3 strings, depends on how you like to hear it, right? So this was our C major chord, and this was our strumming pattern, down, up, down, up. So let's do this with the metronome, and this time also it's the same 60 beats per minute. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with the chord, which is the C major chord. Alright, on the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic, well done. So this was our strumming pattern number 2. Let's move on to the next section where I'll be giving you your strumming pattern 3. And from the next section, the strumming patterns will get a little bit harder than the previous ones so that we can explore a lot of different areas of strumming, right? So without further wasting time, let's move on to the next section. And once more, make sure to practice it with the metronome, and also you can choose any other chord of your choice. I'm just using a chord so that we just can have a context while strumming. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and let's move on to the strumming pattern 3. So as always, let's first take a listen and a look to what our strumming pattern 3 is. So it's something like, right, so don't get confused, it's very simple. So what's happening on the stroke wise, if the right hand is doing down, down, up. One more time. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. So it's like down, down, up. Down, down, up. Exactly. So let's first do this really slowly with the strings muted. So here we go on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this time, I've chosen a minor chord. So what about A minor? So let's put our strumming pattern onto this chord. So it will sound something like, on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me honestly, doesn't that sound fantastic? Exactly. It sounds really beautiful, and it's a very simple stroke. We just removed some of the strokes and added some of the strokes. So that's how creative we are gonna get, right? And also, all the time, don't forget to add your creative juices to certain stuff you learn. That's very essential, right? So once more, let's do this with the chord, and then we'll shift gears to the metronome. So on the count of 4, once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I spell it, it sounds something like this. It's like down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So your down is marking the start of the pattern, and the up at the very last or the third stroke marks the end of the strumming pattern. So it's like down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, right? So now let's shift gears to the metronome and let's do this with the metronome. And once again, our same old dialogue. It's again in 60 beats per minute. Alright, so let's do this with the metronome again on the count of 4, and once more with the strings muted at the very first. Then we'll apply the chords to the strumming pattern, or maybe strumming pattern to the chords. Alright, so on the count of 4 again, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. On the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's apply this to the chordal format. So here's our A minor. And here we go on the count of 4 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't worry, if this sounds a little bit speedy to you, you can always slow down the metronome and do it, but the stroke remains the same. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Right? So this was our strumming pattern 3. I hope you got some really cool insights on this. Also, please make sure to practice this with the metronome at your own speed. And you can choose any chord you want, but just for suggestion, just use one chord for now so that our entire focus remains on the right hand. That if we develop this one, everything else will just become easy, right? So this was our strumming pattern 3. So have fun practicing, and I'll see you in the next section where I'll be giving you your strumming pattern 4. Thank you so much. Once again, welcome back, and this is our strumming pattern 4 section, right? So without further wasting time, let's dive into it. So as of course, once again, let's mute the strings and let's hear this strumming pattern first, right? So the pattern goes something like, yes, so it's basically down, 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 up. A couple of more times. So now here are the strokes. Basically, it's going like down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So it's basically 5 strums or 5 strokes with the right hand. But there's also a difference between the frequency at which and at the speed at which I'm hitting the notes or the strum, right? So it's not constant, so there's a certain rhythmatic pattern that's going on. And yes, you just guessed it right. If you just put this strumming pattern into a metronome, you'll entirely get what the rhythmic pattern should be like. So once more, down, 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 up. So it's basically down, up, not down, up. It's down, up. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Right, so now it's our time for choosing a chord. So I was thinking of why not let's choose a chord, for example a bar chord. Like for example, I've chosen the B minor chord for this one. A beautiful chord indeed. So here's how the strumming pattern sounds with the chord. All right. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's play this once more, but this time again with the metronome. So here we go on the count of 4. Right, so for this time, let's do things a bit more experimental and quirky. So what do I mean by that? So do you remember we did something like the normal count, the double count, and the half count in the exercises section? Yes, with the metronome, we did something like this. So let's apply 2 of the parameters over here in this strumming pattern. Well, I'll be doing that with the metronome. And again, for a note, it's again in 60 BPM or 60 beats per minute, right? And it's up to you how much speed you want, but this is what we're going to go with right now, right? So basically, I was thinking of actually putting the 2 counts, that's the normal and the double, so that you get a bit more context on how to actually play simple things and just adding or removing certain things and, you know, experimenting with it and getting completely different new stuff, which is really, really innovative and exciting both at the same time, right? So here's how it sounds with the metronome, this entire strumming pattern with the chord and again with the muted strings, right? So here we go on the count of 4, and this is the normal count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Now here's how this entire strumming pattern will sound if we do it in the double count. On the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Yes, exactly. That's how easy it is. You just pair it up twice, right? So here it sounds again with the chord this time. Again, we'll do the normal first, the normal count, and then at the last we'll do the double count. All right. Again on the count of 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Let's do this once more with the normal count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So by now you may have recognized that the upstroke, which is happening at the very last, right? It's following somewhere between 2 metronome counts, right? So if you hear it properly, count gap, count gap, count gap. So when I'm saying the count, which is the metronome, and the gap is between two counts, right? So this is how to simplify complex things at the very basic and primal level. So now let's do this with the double count on the same chord again, right? On the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely amazing. So now maybe from the next section we'll actually get into a bit more complicated and really experimental strumming patterns so that our horizons broaden, basically in terms of our musicality, the sense of our timing, and of course experimenting with a lot of stuffs, right? So again, once more, have fun experimenting and playing and practicing all of these strumming patterns. Make sure to please do it with a metronome. That will help you a lot in a lot of sense, right? Thank you so much for watching this, and let's move on to our strumming pattern 5 in the next section. Let's go. Alright, so welcome back to a new section. In this one, I'll be giving you your 5th strumming pattern. Like, it's already 5th. I can't believe how fast we are progressing over here, right? Right, so from this section, things can become a little harder, or if I move the word harder, things will become a bit more crazy, quirky and amazing, so to say, right? Because we're going to explore some bit more and experimental strumming patterns which we haven't done yet, right? So this section kind of marks the starting of our quirky and experimental strumming pattern journey. All right, so without further wasting time, let's see what is our 5th strumming pattern. So it goes something like this. I'm playing it at a normal tempo, then I'll slow it down and gradually break it down. Right, so that was kind of interesting. So let me slow that down and show it to you. All right, so again, with the strings muted at the very first, let's see how this strumming pattern goes. One more time. Right, so let's now focus on the right hand and let's see what is this strumming pattern all about, right? So basically what am I doing with my right hand is, if I break it down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. This is the first part. So all together, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. So there's a certain rhythmatic change. It's not down, up, down, up, down, up. It's like down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's kind of a break. If you listen to it carefully, continually, you'll kind of get the nuance, right? So again, so there's a stop after the third down and the up, right? So it's like down, 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 up, down, up, down, up. So it's like down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So once more, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Let's do it once more, right? Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. This is our strumming pattern. So if I do it fast, you'll kind of get what's the nuance. So simultaneously, I'll do two things. I'll play it slow and fast so that you can get the difference completely easily, right? So here's the normal or the fast version. And here's the slowed down version. One more time. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, let's do it again. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it repeats, right? So Right, so we got the pattern over there. Make sure to practice it really slowly and like get all the nuances correct. And I'll just in a few moments will do the strumming pattern with the metronome, and you will get that completely of how the rhythmatic patterns change through the timing, right? So let's take a chord now and demonstrate the strumming pattern. So I was thinking, why not let's take a beautiful chord, for example the F major 7, right? So let's do the strumming pattern with the F major 7 chord, right? So hear how it sounds slowly. Sounds gorgeous, isn't it? Now let's do it really slowly once again. On the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. Now here's how it sounds if you speed it up, right? Or if you play at a normal speed. So that was kind of a fun experiment I did. So basically I just did nothing. I just took the F major 7 chord, shifted to A minor, and just a different shape of A minor. And of course, don't worry, I'll give you chord progressions at the very end of the section and the starting of the next, right? So now let's shift our gears to the one and only, our metronome king over here, and let's see how will time signatures be used in this strumming pattern to give it a solid shape. Let's go. Right, so let's now do this with the metronome, and again it's in 60 beats per minute, right? So here's how it will sound in the metronome while the strings are muted. So here we go on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. So let's now do this with the chord, all right? And let's see how it will sound. On the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we complete our 5th beautiful and quirky strumming pattern. Don't forget to practice all of these slowly, very slowly with the metronome all the time, so that your time develops as well as your musicality, and we can just broaden our horizons with all of those filters in place, right? So now let's move on to our 6th or the next strumming pattern, and let's see what more treasures we have over there, right? Let's go. Alright, welcome back to a new section again, and here's our strumming pattern 6. So let's just dive right into it. Right, so first and foremost, let's of course see what it sounds like at a normal speed with the strings muted. So here's our 6th strumming pattern. Okay, so what's going on really slowly? If I mute the strings, here's how the strokes are happening. So it's like, So stroke wise, my right hand is kind of going down, down, up, up, down, up. Exactly. So it's like down, down, up. So there's a rhythmatic stop at the between, and you'll just get it when we do it with the metronome. So it's like down, down, up, up, down, up. So it's like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Alright, so for this time on the chords context, let's choose a major bar chord. So I was thinking of, why not like A sharp major, like it's a quirky chord. So let's see slowly how the strumming pattern will sound like with a chord. This is the A sharp major bar chord on the 6th position. So here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so let's do this once more but slowly, alright? So here's again our A sharp major bar chord on the 6th position, and here's our strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once more, down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up. Fantastic. So lastly, let's shift our gears to the metronome stuff and let's see how groovy it sounds with the metronome. Let's go. For a note, it's again in 60 beats per minute, but you know, as from every section, you can set whatever speed you like. 50, 60, 70, 80, it's up to you, right? So let's do this entire thing with the metronome. So here's on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was with the strings muted. I hope you got the entire structure clearly. And it's basically a very simple kind of pattern. We're just actually altering a little bit of ups and downs together and defining them through a rhythmatic pattern, right? So now let's hear it with the chord, which was our A sharp major bar chord. On the count of 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. So this was our strumming pattern 7. Again, like every other section, make sure to practice it really slowly. Go slowly and observe your right hand's movements, and from all of these sections derive all of the knowledge we have gathered till now, like the movement, the structures, the rhythmatic patterns, the entire timing sense we have developed from the exercises part, and you'll just be so equipped with all of these little nuances that will enhance your playing in a lot more level, right? So this was our strumming pattern 6. So I hope you got something interesting from this section, and let's just move on to the next one, or the strumming pattern 7, and let's see what more treasures we have over there. Let's go. Welcome back to a new section, and in this one I'll be giving you your strumming pattern 7. Already I'm very excited, so without further wasting time, let's just jump right into it. So here's how the pattern sounds normally with the muted strings. One more time. Right, so this time we have shifted our gears to a bit more exciting time signatures, which resulted in this beautiful strumming pattern which I did. So it's going down, 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 down. So if I count it in the form of numbers, it's basically it is in 3/3 pattern. So it's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And that's our strumming pattern. So let's shift gears to the chords area, and for this one I've chosen a really beautiful chord, which is our warm E major chord, and it sounds really awesome. Check this out. Yes, do you want to hear it again? Here I go. Again, on the right hand, I'm doing down, 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 down. So you can just loop this down, down, down pattern. So it's basically down, down, down. So it's 1. So you just repeat like this in a loop. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes and loops like this. So it's a very beautiful strumming pattern. So you'll hear this strumming pattern in a lot of songs. Like for example, so again, basically on the number wise, I'm doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Right? So let's play this again with the chord, and we'll just shift gears to the metronome stuff, and you'll just get all the nuances when I do it with the metronome. And for a note again, it's again in 60 beats per minute. So hear it how it goes with the chord once again. So here's how the pattern goes with the metronome on 60 beats per minute. So let's first do it with the strings muted. On the count of 3 here. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Down 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 down. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Fantastic. So let's do it once more. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Fantastic. Now let's do it with the chord, which was our E major chord. And again, you can choose any chord of your liking, right? So here we go again on the count of 3. Listen really carefully, right? 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Fantastic. Let's do it once more with the chord because it sounds really warm and cheery. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Fantastic. Congratulations. You just completed your entire strumming pattern 7. Make sure to, again, as in every section I say, make sure to practice it really slowly with and without the metronome so that you develop a subconscious timing sense also, right? So have fun practicing this strumming pattern, and as you can recognize, this has a different rhythm pattern than all of the strumming patterns we have done till now. So that's a major shift we have over here, but make sure to listen to this entire lecture twice, thrice, like how many number of times you want, so that you get all of the patterns correct and you can just then flaunt it off and be your own guitar god, right? So let's move on to the next section, and we are really close to the ending of our strumming journey. Let's move on to the next, where I'll be giving you your strumming pattern 8. Let's see what more treasures we have over there. Let's go. Right, so welcome back to another section. In this one, I'll be giving you your strumming pattern 8. Wow, like we're really close to ending this strumming pattern journey. So let's see and hear first what our strumming pattern 8 is. So again, the strumming pattern this time is in a 3/3 time signature. So let's see how it sounds and looks like. So it's something like this. Let's do it once more. Right, so if I slow that down, it's basically down, down, up, down, up. That's the entire pattern. So I'm just looping it and I've just fastened it up, right? So it's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So let's do it once again with the strings muted so that you get it very clearly, and I'll do it really slow. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time. Fantastic. So let's do this with a chord. So for this time I've chosen a bar chord. Exactly, this one was the, like if you remember, this one was the hardest chord we did, the bar chord, right? This 3 finger here and the bar over here. So basically I'll not show you the shape because I've already shown you. That was your homework. So I'm assuming that you've already got the shape on your hand. If not, you have to just practice. So this is a C sharp major chord, which can also be held like this, but I'll hold it like this right now because it's much more comfortable for me right now. Okay, so let's hear what our strumming pattern would sound like over this C sharp major bar chord. Okay, so on the count of 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there was a little buzz over there, so let's do it once more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Absolutely fantastic. Now let's shift our gears to the metronome stuff, and again it will be on 60 beats per minute. Now let's see what will it sound like if we put this onto the metronome. Let's go. So here's how it sounds with the metronome. So at first I'll play again, like every other section, I'll play it with the strings muted, and then we'll shift to our C sharp major bar chord, right? So on the count of 3 here, once more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Let's do it once more. All right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Now let's shift our gears to the C sharp major bar chord and let's see how will it sound over there. So again on the count of 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So there you go. You got your 8th strumming pattern. And you may have recognized that after 5th or the 6th strumming pattern, things have become a little bit more complicated in terms of that we're exploring some different things and broadening our horizons so that we go into the intermediate level from the beginner stage. And this is where all of the practice and dedication and the love for your instrument should probably come out, maybe on the strumming patterns, right? So make sure, again, like any other section, make sure to practice this with or without the metronome and really concentrate and hone all of the strokes and the rhythmatic patterns and the changes that we're going through on this entire journey of strumming patterns and a lot other journeys we went through, right? So have fun practicing this pattern with the metronome, and I'll see you in the next one where I'll be giving you your pre-last or the 9th strumming pattern, and then we'll just end on the next one. Thank you so much, and let's move on to the next section. Cheers. Welcome back to a new section. Here's our strumming pattern 9. We're reaching the very end. Well, that was over dramatic. So here's our strumming pattern 9. So without further wasting time, let's see how it looks and sounds. So this one is really abstract. And what do I mean by that? Let's hear it. Do you want to hear it again? Yes, I know that. Let's do it once more. Isn't that really quirky? Exactly. So what's going on? It's really simple, but the entire game is of the time signatures. You have to understand that, right? So what am I doing? Simple down up stroke. It's like down up. Then there's a gradual stop with basically this part of my palm, if you will, with on the strings. So it's like, so it's just creating that percussive sound over here. So all total it's like one more time, last time. Got it? Let's do it once more. Fantastic. Let's shift gears to the chords. Let's see how do we do this. So for this one, you have to really hone and practice with metronome for this one, right? This is kind of a funky strumming pattern, if you will. Right. So for this one, I've chosen a chord which is a bar chord. So this is a D sharp minor chord. You already know by the chord chart and the other sections that it's on the 6th position. That is, my bar is on the 6th. So here is how this funky strumming pattern sounds. I know you're not ready for it, but it sounds really gorgeous. Check this out. Do you want to hear it again? I know. Let's do this once more. So that's really the basic strumming pattern. So if I do it again, down, up, down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if I say 1, it's marking the down and the up stroke together. So it's 1. So you really have to lock with the metronome. This is called locking. You know, you're grooving with the metronome. Like you're really locking with the metronome. For example, it's like 1. And if you like hear the metronome really carefully, you'll probably by this time be like shaking your head or maybe or twitching your leg like this, like I do in every strumming pattern. Right, so let's shift to the metronome and let's see if we put the strumming pattern over the metronome, how will it differ and how will it sound? Let's go. Right, so let's now do this with the metronome. Again, it's in 60 beats per minute, but as usual, you can choose whatever speed you like, right? Like whatever you're comfortable in. So I'll do this strumming pattern 2 times, one really very slow with the metronome and one in the original speed so that you can get the context 2 times, all right? So here we go with the muted strings at a normal speed. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. So that was our slow version of this. So here we go again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. Now let's do it with the D sharp minor chord slowly again, and then the latter would be the fast. All right, again on the count of 3 here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So basically, if you hear it properly, you'll get that on the third metronome beat, I'm just putting the percussive sound on the strings, right? It's like count, count, count. Absolutely fantastic. Let's do it with the normal speed right here. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic, it sounds really, really gorgeous. Let's do it once more. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic, you just got your 9th strumming pattern. Like, can you believe it? We just reached 9 strumming patterns over here. Congratulations, very, very congratulations. Make sure to practice this, and on the next section I'll be giving you your last strumming pattern, which is very sad, but unfortunately we have to end somewhere, right? So basically the next section will be our end of the strumming pattern journey. Again, like every other section, make sure to practice it with the metronome and develop all of the strumming patterns really, really well. And make sure to also practice the shifting of the chords like this, which I have mentioned in the other previous sections. Thank you so much for watching, and let's move on to our last strumming pattern, which is the strumming pattern 10. Thank you so much and cheers. Alright, welcome back to the last section of the strumming pattern journey. In this one, I'll be giving you your 10th strumming pattern. So without further wasting time, let's go. So once more, here's how it sounds. Yes, I'll do that once more for you. So let's see what's happening with the right hand while we are stroking it, right? So there's nothing complex going on with the strokes, but there's just a certain understanding of time signatures that's happening around the strumming pattern. So basically the pattern is something like this, like down, there's a certain rhythmic pause, then up, down, up, all together. Down, up, 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 1, 2. Let's do it once more, but slowly. Down, up, 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 down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. I hope you got the entire structure down. Let's now shift gears to the chords we're going to be using. So for the last one, I've really chosen a simple chord. This is the chord we probably did a long back, which is the G major chord. So let's see how will it sound with the chord. All right. So here we go. Let's do that once more. Absolutely fantastic. Now this is the G major chord over here, and let's do this strumming pattern once more over here, right? So once more the pattern is like this: down, up, 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 down, up. So once more for a note, just remember that there's a certain rhythmic pause after the first down that's happening, and the other 3 strokes are following just after that. Fantastic. Now let's do it with the metronome, which is again in 60 BPM or 60 beats per minute. Let's go. Right, so let's now hear it. What will it sound like with our metronome over here? All right. So as always, let's do it with the strings muted first. So here we go on the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. Let's do it with the chord now. On the count of 4 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Absolutely fantastic. There we go. We just completed all of our 10 strumming patterns, and this one we completed was our 10th strumming pattern. A very warm congratulations to you for passing all of these strumming patterns very quickly. I hope you got really valuable lessons from all of these strumming patterns. You got to learn something new. Please make sure to practice it very slowly with the metronome. Whenever you're feeling you're not getting anything, you're kind of feeling stuck, you cannot perform something, you cannot do something, relax, take a step back, take a day off maybe, and then come back at it again. This is how we go through this entire journey. Thank you so much for watching this entire section. I hope you got to learn a lot. Cheers.